Hello and welcome to Yoga Tip Tuesday. This week we are focusing on pushing away from our desks and moving our bodies as often as possible. A few days ago, I sent out a practice calendar and it included short practices to support your body both during and after a day spent at the computer. And today I want to show you some creative and fun ways to move your body while you're working, like while you're writing an email or talking on the phone. The most important thing that I want you to take away today is that staying in motion, which means just moving your body, is essential. In our culture, we spend a ton of time sitting. Like most of our time is spent in a seat. Think about it. We sit at our desks, we sit in our car to go places, we sit on the couch to watch TV or scroll our phones, we sit while we wait, we sit while we eat, we sit everywhere and we sit a lot. And this is not so good for our bodies. But you might be thinking, Amanda, I exercise every day. Isn't that good? Isn't that enough? Well, exercise is great, but exercise is something that happens in chunks, like we'll go for a run or a swim or a walk. And these are good things, they're great things, but we need to do more. We need to move more. We need to be moving our bodies all day long, not just while we're exercising. For example, if you exercise an hour a day, 7 days a week, your total movement time equals a whopping 420 minutes out of a possible 10,080 minutes. That means you're spending 4% of your time exercising and roughly 96% of your time not moving that much. Ugh. But here's the deal. Our bodies are meant to move. They are not meant to sit or stand all day. When we sit or stand for long periods of time, even if we exercise once a day, we suffer. Sitting or standing in place for long periods of time affects our posture, our range of motion, our circulation, our strength, our mobility, the joy in our bodies. Exercise such as running on a treadmill or doing a strength training program, those are good, they're good for you, but they can't, however, counter the effects of this hunched forward, sitting in a chair position for the majority of our day, the many hours that we spend in that position. Also, most forms of exercise focus on one part of the body. And when we find an exercise we like, we often just repeat that over and over and over, thereby focusing really tightly on that specific muscular group. If you want to age gracefully and with as few aches and pains as possible, then you need to move more. You need to stay in constant motion. This does not mean you need to exercise all day long. It means adding more movement into your days. It means sitting less and moving more. I'm going to show you what that could look like in just a moment. But here's the phrase I want you to remember. I want you to write it down. You can even tattoo it on your body. Exercise is important, but movement is essential. Now, by the way, yoga is an awesome movement practice as it incorporates the whole body and it helps you become mindful of your body, including how it feels and where it is in space. So everything you're doing with the yoga practice is spot on. Bring it into your life even more if you can. Incorporating yoga practice into your day, it just helps your body tremendously, as well as incorporating more movement overall. Now, what could that movement look like? Let's dig into that now. The first thing that I want to share with you, the first thing that I want you to work on in your daily life is getting out of your chair. Sitting in this chair is not doing your body any favors. So I want you to get out of the chair as often as you can. And I want to show you some ways that you can do that. First of all, if you're sitting down now, get off your chair and move it off to the side. One of the ways that you can add more movement into your life is to come down to the floor. This is the best place. It's like this blank canvas that you get to work with. Your body can move into all of these empty spaces. So what I want to encourage you to do is to move that chair out of the way multiple times a day and bring yourself down to the floor. Now, if sitting on the floor is not comfortable for you, not yet anyway, use props. Just like we've talked about in classes before, you can use the blankets, the blocks, a bolster, whatever you need to do to sit more comfortably on the floor. But what this allows you to do that you can't do in a chair is you can move your body in all different ways. So let's say that I need to write some emails. I need to come and do a Zoom meeting. I've got some stuff to do. So I find like a lowish table, put my computer there. I can work here, and at the same time, I can be moving my body in all different ways. So this is what movement looks like. Moving all day long looks just like this. It's not exercise in terms of like getting your heart rate up. It's moving your body, and this is moving the joints. This is bringing attention to the tissues in your body, circulation to those areas, and it is so important to do to keep your body really healthy and mobile for years and years and years. So when you are sitting here, you just look for all different ways to move. Butterfly, a straddle. You can do cross-legged and twist and twist, side stretches, you know, and if you're in a Zoom meeting, this might look odd if your video's on in a Zoom meeting, or maybe you just, you know, do it anyways, and now that somebody might be like, wow, that looks good, I'm gonna do the same thing. You can also turn your video off possibly when you're doing a Zoom call. And then you can do cat-cow. I mean, it's endless, right? You have so much more opportunity to move when you come down to the ground. One thing that I also like to do is to actually move my low table out of the way as well, bring my computer down. So these are things that I do all the time because I try to sit in a chair as little as possible. So you can come down to a child's like pose and work here. Maybe you're doing a Zoom call and you just have your computer there and you're just here watching, listening. Maybe you're writing emails and you just need to take some movement breaks. You can just do whatever feels good. Cat-cow. Now, as you're watching me, try not to be like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? I gotta remember all this. And instead, just come to the floor with your computer or whatever you have that you're working with, and just think about, how many ways can I move my body here? Like, I'm gonna come to tabletop. How many ways can I move in tabletop? Start to just move. There's no wrong way to do this. So the most important thing, get out of your chair, drop down to the ground, and move from there. Now, I know this doesn't work for all working scenarios. I get that because I come back to my desk as well throughout the day. But as often as you can, come down here, especially if you're doing kind of tasks that you feel really tired around, like emails or, I don't know, stuff that just kind of drags you down a little bit. Then come down to the floor and move your body while you're doing that. It'll make it much more interesting and much more enjoyable. The other thing that I like to incorporate are using balls. And I do this actually a lot as while I'm sitting on the ground here. And you can do this while you're seated at a desk. Excuse me, is just use a ball and just massage your hands. And again, you're just doing what feels good. I was on a Zoom call the other night, and I was doing this. I was just hanging on my call, moving around like this. So you just play with it. And then you can come up to standing and say you need to make a phone call and you need to talk to somebody. You can just be talking on your phone. Maybe you put your AirPods in, or maybe you have your phone and you're just holding it. And you are seeing how many ways can I move my foot here. I'm just gonna grab a ball and I'm just gonna, you can use a tennis ball. I've got a therapy ball here. You can also use a ball that has some texture to it. I just got this at Target, I think it was. And it's firmer ball, but it's a deeper texture for the foot, and it feels really good. It's like very stimulating for the foot. It really wakes up the feet. So you can use something like this, like use whatever you can find in your home. And I'm sure you've got like a tennis ball or something like that that you can grab. And so you can be talking on the phone, or maybe you just need to get out of your desk for a minute. It's really refreshing and inspiring to move away from your desk. So just doing a little movement like this is helpful. Okay, another thing you can use is your block. I use this a lot. I don't know if you can see me very well there. So you can turn and put the ball of your foot on your block. Love this. Do a calf stretch here. It's so nice. Both sides. While you're talking with somebody, maybe you're in a meeting and you just get up out of your desk and you just start, and maybe you're in person or maybe you're working remotely. And if you're working in person, just bring some items like these to your workplace and it'll encourage you to move. I keep all of these things around my desk all the time. My husband steals them though sometimes, and I have to go find them. A half dome is one of the best things you can purchase ever. This was probably like $9. I absolutely love this thing. I use it all the time. This is actually my favorite way to stretch my calves. Feels really good. It's nice and soft. You can use it to stretch your feet like so. It's also a super fun way to practice balancing. So if your brain is feeling tired, you're feeling sluggish, you're just like feeling tired, but you're also just like, I don't know how to solve this problem, or I don't know what to say to this person, or I don't have any ideas around this, get up and move your body. Stand on your half dome, balance, take your mind to your body, take it to a different part of, what's happening in your life, to your breath, and something will come. Clarity will come. The idea will come. You just changing the scenery just a little bit and changing what you're doing with your body is going to make a huge difference. Highly recommend half dome. Another thing that I use often, and this is a popular thing in my house, my daughter absolutely loves this, is a balance board. I think that maybe I spent $15 on this. It's pretty cheap. And it's awesome. So a balance board means you just balance on it. You get on here. I do this one all the time. I do this a lot before I teach because it's just a nice way to wake up my legs and just get myself kind of in the zone. So coming on here, balancing, I will stand on this and talk to my husband. My husband and I share a workspace. He'll stand on the Bosu. I'll stand on here. We talk to each other. My daughter comes in. She hangs out on this. It's a fun thing to do. It's like kind of silly, right? But it's also just like really fun and it's challenging, and you can practice bending the knees and straightening the legs. Okay. And then the last thing is this Bosu ball. And this is probably the most expensive thing that we have in terms of a movement kind of prop, but money well spent. This, I'm sure you've seen it from exercise classes. It is such a fun and really effective way to practice balancing, but to increase the strength in your legs, your hips, and your core. So coming on to the Bosu and just being here, and you can be on your phone, you can have my husband has a standing desk, and so he'll have his computer at a standing desk, and he'll stand on this and work like this, right? And he has the option of standing or sitting, and he'll come to this when he's standing as a way to just wake up and get the legs firing. So these are all possibilities for you. And of course, you use whatever you have in your house. We've gathered these items over a period of time, right? And I just keep everything around my desk. And that's what's key, is keeping things really available. I just have items just around, and I really, really encourage you to come down from your chair and sit on the floor as much as you possibly can. Bring your body into as many different experiences, as many different shapes as you can. That is the movement that I'm talking about. Exercise is absolutely an important aspect to our lives, but staying in motion, it is essential to our health and to the well-being of our bodies and minds and hearts. Like, the more we move in all of these interesting ways, the more that you bring, like, the circulation is so important, the more health you bring, the more vitality you bring into your body. And when you start moving in this way here, you're going to start moving in all different ways. When you're waiting in line, when you're in your car, you'll feel like, oh man, I need to get some little bit of movement, and you'll just start bringing it in. And that's what is so important and so powerful. Move as much as you can in just these little creative, fun ways. So I hope this was helpful for you today. Please let me know what questions you have, and I will let you know what these items are and give you some links to them to help you if you want to get some items like these for your home. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.